Pro Football player Travis Kelce is pressed for time during the football season. So he does two things at once. Whether it's grilling while mowing.
Two things at once!
Or getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot at the same visit as his flu shot.
Two things at once.
You can be like Travis and ask your pharmacist about getting this season's COVID-19 shot at the same visit as your flu shot, if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Thank you for tuning in today. You are now listening to That Will Never Work podcast with your host, Maurice Chisholm. Thank you for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate your presence. I greatly appreciate how you have been supporting us. I greatly appreciate how you have been interacting with me throughout this journey. You know, this year has been very interesting. And as I look at the fourth quarter of this year, i.e. like any other sports outing or sports game, from a business perspective, you start to take a look at where you have been and towards where you are going or what you want to accomplish for this year. And as you take a look at this opportunity to reflect, as you take this opportunity to gather in information, to analyze your data, to look at your stats for your podcast, to look at your analytics for your website, to take a look at your sales for your t-shirt store, as you take a look at your review from your manager or your supervisor, as you are taking in information from the human resources department, as you watch certain organizations start to provide individuals opportunities at the end of the year. Right now, it is now the beginning, it's the middle-ish of the fourth quarter.
Pro Football player Travis Kelce is pressed for time during the football season. So he does two things at once. Whether it's grilling while mowing.
Two things at once!
Or getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot at the same visit as his flu shot.
Two things at once.
You can be like Travis and ask your pharmacist about getting this season's COVID-19 shot at the same visit as your flu shot, if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So in that, because of those situations, those opportunities, and you realize, hey, I am this close to achieving my goal. So how many of you today have taken a look at that data, that information, your review? How many of you have taken the moment to say, you know what, I have done a good job. I have tried my best this year. I have put forth so much effort this year to make it a great year. Me personally, I've had so many different challenges and situations, and I am this close to making to episode number 100 for this podcast. And I thank each and every one of you that from this international show, we have touched so many individuals. And I thank each and every last one of you for listening, right? It's greatly, greatly appreciated. So now as we are moving forward and I am understanding that, hey, I'm about to reach the episode 100. Well, what is it? What more can I do? Do I really want to go beyond that number? Do I really want to stretch myself even further? So how many of you are in that situation or that position where you're looking at your numbers, your data, your accomplishments, your goals, your dreams, and how close you are, and are you really willing and able to exceed, excel, blow past what you have been destined to do this year? I'm waiting. How many of you are excited that you see your goal at hand? How many of you are excited to say, hey, my department has achieved this goal for this year? We will be, so I'm going to go back to my time in corporate America being at Health Partners of Philadelphia, and where we were rated the number one customer service department in the serving area. I can't remember exactly. Was it the city, the region? I can't remember exactly, but we were rated number one in customer service. So what does that say? How much effort was the whole team putting together? And what does that mean from the management position all the way down to the last individual? What does it mean when the training department has come in and taught those employees to do the best of their ability? What happens to those individuals that have gone to school and study what they can study, learn what they can learn, and now it's time for them to execute it in their own practice, in their own business, and trying to teach someone else? When have you taken the time to analyze where you are and where you're about to be?
Pro football player Travis Kelce is pressed for time during the football season. So he does two things at once. Whether it's grilling while mowing.
Two things at once!
Or getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot at the same visit as his flu shot.
Two things at once.
You can be like Travis and ask your pharmacist about getting this season's COVID-19 shot at the same visit as your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Learn more and schedule at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's understand that what we have put together on our whiteboard, in our journal, in our spiral notebook, the book right next to our nightstands, the book that's sitting on our stationary bicycle, those that are putting it in their iPads and their telephones, or wherever the situation is, wherever you are journaling and you realize and you sit back that, hey, I am about to reach my goal and I still have X number of days to make it. And one of the things that we're not going to do here that will never work is procrastinate and wait until the very last minute to get it accomplished, right? We're going to take it and knock it out the box early. So now we have the opportunity to now become better, to now smash that number, to now go above and beyond. So that way, because so many of us have had so many challenges this year, that when it comes down to now it's time for us to achieve our goals, it felt like it was so far away, and now it's so close, you could taste it. Now are you ready to win? Are you ready to be successful? Are you ready to take 2023 and crush that one too, and take it even further than what you had in 2022? I know I am. I'm right here at number 100. I am right here at a number that I never expected. I've looked at from the very first season since we started this back in 2019, and every season since, how we have gradually increased our number of shows. Well, here's the thing. We for this year, we crushed 2021's numbers by the month of March. So what I'm getting at is that I had taken the opportunity to move my goalpost, right? I took the goalpost and said, you know what? Getting to 30 shows, or how many I had done in 2021, I had moved the goalpost. I said, this is too easy. Let me challenge myself. So now I'm at number 100, and that's a number that I thought was going to be a lot. 100 shows. Oh my gosh. What does that mean? A little less than two shows a week or whatever it is. And granted, there were some weeks where, especially just recently, where I had taken off to do some family things or whatever else, and just, trying to get this content out on a consistent basis is not always easy. Especially when you have to deal with situations or circumstances or whatever that's very close to you, near and dear to you. Sometimes you're like, hey, you know what? That's not important right now. But then when you take a look back and you say, hey, I put in all this work at this particular time, I can jump back on track and still crush my goals no matter what the situation is. I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there have done the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there have pushed yourself to a limit to the point where you have achieved your goals. And now it's time for you to move that goalpost just a little bit more, just to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to crush it. And then that way when next year comes, you can say, you know what? That's light work. I could do that in my sleep. Because we think about this goalpost, and again, I'm gonna use this analogy of the American football goalpost. When we think about the wind, and the wind blows the goalpost or the football, when you try to kick it in, it kind of makes things shift a little bit. It takes things a little bit off. But have you taken the opportunity to realize, you know what? I have enough trajectory. I have enough force. I have enough wind even behind me to get this thing through these uprights and make it on the other end. Even from a golf perspective, how many of you have played golf and you hit the ball with the club and you're looking and you're like, wow, I hooked it, or whatever it is. And next thing you know, something has taken it and adjusted it. Because you practice, because you have put forth the effort, you might have put a little bit more spin on the ball than you anticipated. Let's take it even from a basketball perspective. You might put more rotation on the ball, than you thought originally, instead of shooting it flat or where the ball has no movement, or you shot it at the back of the rim instead of the front of the rim, like you normally do, because you're falling short, right? But this particular year, you've corrected all the mistakes that you might have had over a period of time. You've realized that, hey, I cannot continue to go down this rabbit hole that I have in the past. How many of you have moved that goalpost for you to continue to crush your goals and your dreams? You can do it. You have it within you. Let's make it happen. Thank you very much for listening.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.